I guess I should probably turn my mic off mute before I start the show. That would always help. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing all right. It's Tuesday. Are you guys going to have tacos for dinner? I hope so, because that's usually what we do on Tuesdays. Taco Tuesday. My goodness. My goodness. How are we feeling? It's NFTuesday also. I don't know if you guys knew that. Welcome to the show's Web3 Breakfast. Guys, we come to you every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Today is no different. I hope you liked our beats today. I do have to, man, you know what I went back to? And I got to change like the whole intro. I have to make it, that has to be what goes, like everything needs to be live on YouTube, because they need, like, the YouTube folks need they need that minute to get into the show as well, because we do, 15. Well, today we did like 20 something minutes of music before. I was at the studio a little early. Was playing music myself. I said, you know what? We might as well just get this thing going. So we did that. But, going to make a few changes around here, just a few house cleaning things just to tidy it up, to tighten it up. You know what I mean? We gotta make sure that the YouTuber crew, like even the X people that watch live, it's like the show goes live like right off the rip, and people might miss something. So we go live, give them a few minutes to, just like the auditorium, fill your seat. Anyway, that's a long-winded way of saying good morning. I'm on one today.
It's like those pre-movie, please turn off your cell phones and let people around you enjoy the show.
Yeah, and I will preface it that I am on one today. I'm a little fired up, but it's all right. It's for good reasons, right? They will benefit everybody at the end of the day, but it's just, I got a lot of things that are weighing me down, a lot of things on my mind, a lot of things moving, a lot of moving parts right now, and so. But hey, I freaking love you guys.
Hey, speaking of moving parts, how was the ride in the Cybertruck? Give us a little experience.
Yeah, I think it's faster than the Lambo.
Damn.
He got the Cyber Beast too, which is like, I think got a little bit more performance part like to it or whatever, or maybe it's just the way it looks. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what, that thing is awesome. My life cycle iteration of love, the love affair that I've got with the Cybertruck has definitely come 180, right? Like when it first was like announced and it came out, my buddy, I was living in Austin at the time, my buddy Aaron, so it was like we were the three amigos, my buddy Ross, Aaron, and myself. We did a lot of hanging out. A lot of things. And so Aaron actually put the deposit down on the Cybertruck right when it came out. And I was just like, bro, that thing is freaking disgusting looking. It is hideous. Like what is like the people in charge of the road? What are they called? So many acronyms now. The Highway Commission or whatever. FAA.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, so like there's no way, because it was like so pointy in the front, like this thing's a death machine. It would just be like sawing people and cars in half, like you get in head-on collisions. Like, no way, like this is just terrible. And then it came out, it's like, that's interesting. I still don't like it. And then I saw the first one in person. I was like, kind of like it, but it looks weird. It's long. It's really long.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. And then the more and more I see them, I just like, damn, those things are cool. And then you see people like decking them out with I think somebody put like
the different wraps.
Oh, the wraps. Yeah. So AJ's gonna do a full crypto wrap on his, which is gonna be awesome. It is, we were talking about that yesterday. That's gonna be cool. No, like I'm pretty sure I saw like a video of like someone with like a 50 cal mounted in the back of theirs. Like, like you start to see like the crazy mods when you're like, okay, these things are like apocalypse vehicles. Like
and I think it was Pasadena that like the first police department that got them. Like they're bulletproof, so it actually makes sense from a safety perspective if governments are scooping them up for their police departments, especially in some of these bad neighborhoods.
That's right. That's right.
Good luck.
That's funny. It kind of brings it.
But it's mounted with a Gatling gun on the back.
This brings your conversation yesterday about like having a vehicle that's wrapped in like Bitcoin decals. That's like, maybe it's like if you have a Cybertruck, maybe it might be the one time that it's okay, because you can like mount a machine gun on the back or just run them over. But still, I don't know, man. If you had a flashy car like that, especially, I wouldn't want to do a wrap, like especially a Bitcoin one, because it'd just be like over the top announcement to the world that you have like extra cash to burn. I don't know. I couldn't help but back yesterday. It was like really trying, I couldn't talk.
Really quick. Really
yeah.
quick. Really quick.
Yeah.
Is it me on my end, or is Carrie coming
No,
in?
it must be
very
wherever
spotty?
you're sitting. Must be wherever you're sitting, Carrie.
Yeah, you're coming in. We're getting like every other word.
Hey, you know, we
God
call
damn it.
these,
How about now?
yeah, we can hear you now. You talk about these, doomsday vehicles or getaway vehicles. I mean, it's all fun and games until you got to like charge that thing up while you're trying to get away from somebody. You know,
Oh, I literally left the space because I thought I got rugged. I guess it was Carrie.
No, that's a fair point, Neil. But isn't it also solar powered? Like it can be charged by solar.
But like anytime that you've
I
ever
don't
seen, guys, anytime you've ever seen a zombie movie, when the apocalypse happens, that means that like the fog set in and there is no more sun. So we've got to think like, what do you do to charge that thing? Like when the true apocalypse comes, when it's just cloudy every day and zombies are everywhere. There's no sun.
You probably just die.
No.
Now that being said, hold on. Now that being
We put
said,
it
you
through a
also
wind
have to
turbine.
have diesel or gas or whatever else. Somehow you have to get it. I just feel like it might be a little easier to get a hold of than just having to, find electricity during doomsday.
Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. And do you think there's a patent on the design for the Cybertruck? Because, like, in all reality, like, I would like a Cybertruck, but I would like a combustible engine inside of my Cybertruck, only for my apocalypse vehicle, for said reason. For like, I can't really. I gotta charge my battery. Zombies, hold on, please. I gotta charge my battery. No. Like, we got to be able to just get up and go during the apocalypse. And so I'm
Gonna be able to siphon gas out of a dead car. Yeah.
But
And
you
beat
can't
it.
put it in the
No,
Cybertruck. That's what I'm saying.
So
like,
a quick Google search.
do you-
I don't think the engine is necessarily patented. Looks like the windshield, the steel, the design, and then just like general trademarks of the names.
So could we get a Cybertruck and then take this weenie battery engine out and then put in like a fucking Hemi?
a hydrogen.
Yes.
Let's put in a
Hydrogen
Hemi.
jet. Hey,
There's some guys that put a Duramax diesel in one.
Yes.
You can go
Really?
on YouTube. I forget who it was, but somebody put a Duramax diesel in it. Yeah, the thing about the Cybertruck is the amount of energy that thing has to do solar. You'd have to have a small solar farm, and plus you have to have batteries and inverters. And yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of apocalypse, where diesel is probably going to be your best fuel to diesel or propane.
Absolutely. Now, again, I absolutely love the Cybertruck. I would get one if I had, whatever kind of money I would want. I would definitely have one. Now, I know you're a Tesla guy. What do you think of the Cybertruck?
I won't tell you. Just kidding. No, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. They're really cool inside too.
Yeah, again, it's two different trains of thought. I mean, from an electric vehicle, from performance, when the Cyber Beast comes out, right now the launch edition of Foundation, they have 2 motors. The Cyber Beast will have 3 motors, which is similar to the Tesla Plaid. So insane, yes. To have a truck that goes, you have a truck that's literally faster than 99.9% of the cars. And for up to a few years ago, you have something that is supercar status in a truck.
Yeah.
So again, it's just you can't compare a diesel to. I mean, a diesel truck's a diesel truck. Like a Cyber Beast, truck is a Cyber Beast truck.
Dude,
so.
it was crazy. Like, so yesterday, Ben, AJ, and I, we went for our little joyride, and like right before he hit it, he gave us just kind of like a little bit of a warning. But we should have realized, because it was a nice straightaway, and he had definitely made sure that there was distance between the car in front of us and where we were. So in retrospect, like, I definitely felt him kind of slow it down and able to punch it. But we were just kind of plugging along, and then all of a sudden, and again, I've been in the Lambo, I've been in a Aston Martin, I ride. Like, that's fine. This thing was the fastest, because the pickup is different in a Tesla than it is in a normal like sports performance car, right? Because you still have that combustion that has to happen in order to move. Like this,
you have to have RPMs, right? You have
Right.
to have an engine rev up to make your horsepower, where
that's
electricity is.
That's just how it works, right? And that's like not how the Cybertruck or the Cyber Beast work. This thing just goes. It just goes. It's insane. Like it throws your head, like you just get thrown back and you're like, whoa, this is wild. So if you get a chance, do it.
I believe you can get the Ludicrous or the Performance Model 3 that's going to be coming out, and I believe that's $50,000, and I believe that's a car that goes 0 to 60 in like 2.5
But
seconds.
does the Ludicrous trim package come with like a auto playing song that's just like "Move, bitch, get out the way"? the
No,
whole time?
well, it goes back to Spaceballs. If you guys aren't familiar, remember in Spaceball they said what speed are we at? Ludicrous speed, and they said what's past ludicrous speed? Then it turned to plaid. So that is the plaid and ludicrous is all a play on Spaceballs. If people weren't aware of that, so there you go.
I didn't put that together, but I love that.
Really? It's interesting.
That's why it's plaid. Yeah, because it doesn't make it. Why are you calling it plaid? Because in Spaceballs, when they went past ludicrous speed, everything turned plaid. So that's how it is. It's pretty fun.
That now to me, I loved Spaceballs as a kid. I could say probably that I've seen that movie more times than minutes of any Star Wars or Star whatever thing ever. And I like it that way.
Yes, Carrie, I see you, Mr. Tall Guy in the front row with his hand up.
Mr. Polite.
Hello, sir.
Mis-
Can
Mis-
you
Mr.
hear me
Polite
now,
guy.
sir?
Yeah, how's the scalability of your project, sir? How's the security and the solutions?
Okay, good. So I'm coming through loud. Am I coming through loud and clear? I'm doing this. This is mic check. Mic check.
You
Am I good?
Well, you know what?
For real.
In all fairness, Carrie, you were having technical difficulties earlier. You're not pulling our tail at the moment, so you may proceed.
No,
sir.
no. I'm like literally like want to know if through now because I had to like I'm sitting right beside my modem.
This is an actual mic check.
Yes.
Perfect. We loud and clear, brother. Love you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, continue with your banter.
Oh, that's it. You just we that was just for a mic check. Got you.
Literally, I wanted to do a mic check for real.
Yes. Well, I think that's probably a good segue. You know.
All right. Come here now then. This is NFTuesdays. Thank you everybody for coming by. It's my favorite day of the week personally. I'm looking down and seeing some new faces in the audience, which is always a good thing. Not so many familiar faces, strangely enough, but that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. How do we where are we going from here? Let's introduce our guest maybe.
I think that's
Want to do that or okay. So we got Will from Dev Pixels. Okay, this is exciting for me because it's a long time since we talked about another blockchain, and this one is on Hedera, and we all know how much we all love Hedera in this room, right? So this one caught my eye immediately.
I was thinking about
what's that?
I was thinking about like if I should become more. I don't want to become a Hedera maxi because I don't believe in maximalism, but. Do you think that's the move? Like it's just like my two chains.
An H barbarian, right? You can dabble.
I want to be an H barbarian and a Solana guy. Like I think that's it. And base, I think.
Well, yeah, well that's it, man. Then you're already like you're working the interchain a little bit, right? You're not just like sticking to the one. Like I'm like a Cosmos guy, yeah, but I love my Solana and I love H bar. I hold all of those tokens. You know, like I'm an investor in all of them. So there's no reason why I wouldn't want to explore the DeFi ecosystem now that I know what the fuck I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So I just, lately I've just been trying to branch out from Cosmos a little bit, and I stumbled across the Dev Pixels project and was like, okay, now here's something I can I can relate with, and immediately, oh shit, I gotta get a battery charger. Immediately, I got in contact with him and so here we go. And so our other guest today is Maria. She's from the Women of Cosmos. And if you've been in art spaces or stargaze spaces with me, you've seen her before, or you've seen her work on one of our timelines being reposted. But Yeah,
Or
she
if
is.
you are in the Vixen Villa, because Maria.
Yes, because she is a part of the Exactamundo. So we got Maria in here as well. So I guess, how are we going to do this now?
Well, let's see if there's obviously anybody that wants to participate in the conversation. That's the whole point of the show. So make sure that you
That's true
guys
too.
make sure you guys are doing the
If you got
things
questions
right.
for either
What was that?
Purple Pill, yeah, post, repost, and like, and then if you got any questions for like either a Kittle or one artist or like a sick collection on Hedera, get your ass on up
Yeah.
to the breakfast table, grab a mic, and do this.
All right, Maria.
You can also, if speaking something you're not comfortable with, you can also just like put it in the comments of the space, and we can hop over. I'll check over on that too.
Yeah, that's a great. I like that. Maria, how are you? GM.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Really happy to be here. I was laughing hearing you. It was like, I have no clue what you're talking about. I just have my old car and I'm happy with it still, it lives, I guess, but doing great.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. So you're a one-of-one artist over on the Cosmos ecosystem. Is that what I gathered from Carrie's intro?
I will say I'm an artist because I have one-on-one collections, I have generative art, I have collections on Stargaze, Cosmos ecosystem, also Polygon, Ordinal. So I will say I'm all over the place, but an artist and art collector as well, for sure.
Awesome. Well, let me ask you a question. So from what I understand, also you're on the Cosmos ecosystem, and I know most people, if you've been in the space for a while, you get your entry in by usually like a larger ecosystem like Ethereum, especially if you were into NFTs. Maybe it was a Cardano or maybe something else, right? And that's totally fine. But you've hopped to Cosmos. Let's take that step back. Where did you get your start in the Web3 space, and what was it that drew you over to the Cosmos ecosystem? Because it's a little bit smaller now, but we have spoken to a lot of artists and projects and founders over in that ecosystem, and so I've got an understanding as to why some people make the shift over there. But obviously, we'd love to hear from you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, to be completely honest, my first ever introduction to NFTs was through Solana. Like, I remember I bought these Soul Punks back then. And then as an artist, I started with ETH. I guess it was like the mainly, open door for all of that. But I was an investor on Cosmos already. So when I hear about the Stargaze, coming to launch, I was like, okay, I want to create a big collection. I want to create, my own universe. So I think it has sense, for me to do it here because I was already invested on the ecosystem. So that's why, basically.
Nice. And we come to find out, when we talk to a lot of people, again, people, founders, devs, or whatever it may be over in the Cosmos ecosystem, you come to find out that it's the community there is what ultimately draws people in, but then gets them to stay. You find, and I haven't really learned about a lot of toxicity, right, in some of these smaller ecosystems, which was just a fantastic thing because if you look historically back, and I think it has a lot to do with like the market conditions or whatever, but that can change the dynamic, and so it's really nice to hear. Also, when you hear a lot of people looking at, say, the market cap of certain blockchains and their NFT ecosystems continuing to go down a little bit, but there are, you got Cosmos, like the stuff that Carrie he brings to us every week. We're seeing these projects mint, and we're seeing activity, and we're seeing all sorts of things happen within this space where NFTs are not dead. And I know that that's a narrative that, a lot of people who are faithful, who are artists, who love this space have been trying to defend now for many months. So if someone were to say to you, aren't NFTs dead? Or wait, like the monkeys, like what is your response to that now at this stage in the game? Knowing that we all know that it's going to go back up. It's, it's a cycle. But, what do you say to the people who think NFTs are dead?
Well, I will say like absolutely not. Maybe that Pixel will argue with me, because they are dead. Bad joke here. But I will say no, because maybe this huge FOMO hype movement, okay, but I'm an artist, I'm an art collector, so I keep collecting, and I keep vibing every day through all this endless bear market, and I'm having the time of my life. So definitely they are more than alive.
I agree with you. I agree with you. All
Did
right,
you want
now-
to talk for 1 sec about I want to hear just a bit about Women of Cosmos, because that's something I was interested in the first time that we spoke, but I've never really had a who's involved. Are you the leader of this cohort, or got to excuse me? I've had a lot of coffee this morning. Jesus.
Oh, you're lucky because I didn't have my coffee yet. But yes, let me introduce you. My team is me, myself, and my rest of personalities. I am the artist, marketing, and everything. It is a solo team, actually. And yeah, we're getting close to 3 years. So I will say an OG project in Stardust for sure, because I was selected as a Genesis project, which means I launched with the marketplace. So.
Okay, now it's starting to make sense why Sandra looks up to you so much. She thinks you're you're pretty great because you're running all this stuff all on your own. This is pretty serious. I had no idea that you were the only person behind it. So yeah, but what's going on with the Dead Pixel club? We gotta learn something about Hedera NFTs today.
What's going on, guys? Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
Good to hear that. How's it going? Good to hear that I'm amongst friendly company. Some folks who are aware of and enjoy the H bar. I've been on some spaces that I got invited on, and it was funny. I got up and it felt like I had to just sit through about 10 minutes of bashing on Hedera before we got to the conversation. So always good to be amongst friends.
Absolutely. I think one of the misconceptions of H bar is that people just don't quite understand it, and they don't realize that it is the future of where a lot of things are heading. There is the partnerships that they have. I recently did a 3-part series. It was on H bar, it was on the Hedera RWA ecosystem, and then a specific video on Karate Combat. And in putting all that together and learning more and more about it, because I was an early investor in H bar when it came out, and it was one of those ones where it didn't move, and so I had moved on and taking different positions in different projects and whatever. But it was you didn't understand it. You just knew that it's hash graph, it's the future, it's next after blockchain. And you're like, what the fuck? Okay, I'll get to that later. Then let me that was like, well, let's do the metaverse because that's coming sooner than that. And obviously, that's a ways off too. So you pick ahead of the trends, and you got to just be ready to hold for 10 years. But anyway,
that's right. There's such a thing as being too early sometimes. No, I mean, obviously we're excited about Hedera, which is why we started building the project on there. But yeah, obviously, I think Hedera has a lot going for it. It's really interesting, but each blockchain has their own strength and really different dynamics amongst most of them. So lots of interesting stuff going on in Hedera.
Yeah. I mean, you think even the partnerships and the top companies in the world that kind of partnered up with them. You got IBM, Boeing, with the list goes on and on. Anybody could Google search that image and you could see I think they're doing a lot more. There'll be really a very, very high level solution for many things in the future. So, but again, it's that's the future. That's not right now, but there's a lot of things that are happening right now, and that's why it's really it keeps people active and it keeps people there. Look what's happening with Karate Combat, right? I think knowing that we've got a pro sports league that is built on the rails of H bar, that has a token that people can game, they can earn all that stuff. That's again Web3 gaming. You again look at the RWA ecosystem that's building. I mean, you could literally go on and buy fractionalized multi-million-dollar condos, all that kind of shit, right now. These are things that are live right now. Some places, some ecosystems, they're still talking about it, but this shit's live.
No, I mean it's a good point. Like one of the interesting things about Hedera obviously is how well connected they are in this enterprise space and these use cases that really need that high throughput, and have their eyes on some big prizes. So like you mentioned karate combat as an example, and one of the cool things I think about being in the Hedera ecosystem, obviously we're like facing the retail space. Even though Hedera tends to be a lot more focused on retail. But I think one of the interesting dynamics that comes from that is, you have these projects like Karate Combat, which are, really quickly growing, almost, massive, projects with, huge amounts of viewers now and followers. But now, we're connected with them. I speak with the founder from time to time, and leading up to one of the Karate Combat events, we were able to get a ghost in the actual pit during the fight. So, the community had a ton of fun with that. We were able to watch it. Community seeing the ghost just plastered right there on the pit was a lot of fun. So it's definitely an interesting dynamic being in, again, like the community facing that community facing side of it, but then rubbing shoulders with these enterprise use cases, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, all right. So talk to us about Dead Pixels. Do you guys have anything in the works? Like what should the people know about the Dead Pixels?
I find it funny that it says already dead is like their tagline, but they've got 16,000 followers on Twitter. So it's like far from fucking a dead project.
Yeah, no, I mean, so we've been really fortunate on Hedera. So we've been able to grow into the number one project on Hedera by volume and market cap for an art, PFP project. Actually, I think essentially any NFT project on Hedera, we've kind of led the way in terms of volume and market cap. So we've been really lucky to build a really strong community around it. I'd say to kind of summarize the project, we decided early on we're just gonna have a laser focus on art and brand, where we didn't want to get too complicated with the project and start, building out roadmaps and promises. We really wanted to say, you know what, we're focusing on art and a collectible and a brand, and we want to build a large community around that. And we've been lucky that we've been able to kind of accomplish that to a certain degree on, a chain like Hedera that at the moment it's a little bit smaller when it comes to retail. But the community is pretty intense, man. So we've been lucky that we've been able to carve a chunk out in terms of community members. And one of the interesting dynamics with our project is because we were starting out when NFTs were just getting started on Hedera, and again, it was a smaller community. We had this vision that we wanted a large collection with a really big community. So we wanted to do that 10K PFP collection. But at the time that we were kind of announcing and rolling out the project, there just wasn't enough people to support a project that large. And so we decided we were going to kind of follow this model of like staggered drops over time. And so we've had 4 drops over the last almost 2.5 years, that has brought us to this point. And so actually on October 21st, we're doing our final drop, where essentially the whitelist requirement is pretty simple. It's just own one of the existing NFTs in the collection, and you're automatically getting a whitelist for this final drop, where the remainder of the collection is going to be minted. So that process of staggered drops to build a collection and a community over time has actually been really interesting and something that we've come to appreciate over time.
Man, I like that. That's pretty cool. Were you gonna say something else?
Yeah, no. I mean, I was just like, it's kind of it's different. I think it's like something that's unique to kind of smaller chains and communities. But like you were kind of asked the question, or you were going on the topic earlier about how are things going in this type of a market. I think rolling out the project in that way has been interesting because, you know, we grew this project during this bear market. So like we haven't really known the project during, you know, a growth cycle. And so again, I think, you know, that staggered drops played a part in, you know, just keeping things interesting and fun during that time.
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate so far, Dead Pixels, man. I appreciate you guys being here, dropping some alpha about what you got going on. Maria, thank you, guys. This is NF Tuesday. This is Web3 Breakfast. We come at you every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. The Gotti giveaway is a little bit different today. If you look up at the breakfast table, Mr. Dude made a post. It's a little bit different today. You guys got to start buying some fucking Gotti. We got to know that there's people that actually want to hold the fucking coin. You guys just love to sell, sell, sell. No more. Not until you guys learn how to hodl. Hodl with your strong hands. You guys are like Chris Elliott in that movie. What was it? Where he's like, take my
Like
strong
scary
hand.
movie. Take
Like,
my strong hand.
Yeah.
And she fucking dies.
that's you guys. That's you guys with your little strong hand. Yeah. No more of that little
Yeah.
strong hand.
Like the Crisco hands is strong in DeFi, my friends. I think everybody feels it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we
Got them all greased up, you know, real slippery.
Yeah, we gotta rework this. Listen, all the last week, yesterday, because we switched yesterday. I had to go to the store and buy 2 brand new computers. And you guys, if you know me, that's probably why I'm as frustrated as I am today. Is because I had to set up not 1, but 2 fucking Windows computers. And not only do I hate technical stuff like that, I despise Windows computers because I'm a Mac guy. But Macs don't have the capabilities of what we need to do in the main live stream studio. But the good thing is like now we got like all the web cameras moving. I got a cam on me. All they can do, all the angles and all that shit because the computers can handle that. But I was here like super late trying to set that up. All the winners from last week and yesterday will get paid out. And you guys, if you'll get a little extra juice because I know you've been waiting, but we got to rework it because it's just not advantageous to keep just giving this shit away to people who just nuke it immediately. I mean, you guys, we're supposed to be rewarding community and building community members, and you guys just nuke it and nuke the chart every fucking day. So we got to rework that.
Well said, Jay Chance. I love the calmness in your voice there as well.
I mean, you know, like now sometimes we're giving away, like, listen, it's so rare. Like we're giving over a Gotti away, which again is like, on a token that's 30-some thousand in the circulating supply, like with only
That's crazy.
What's that?
That's what I've been saying. It's like, you sure you want to get rid of it? You sure? Really? It's like 553 times more rare than Bitcoin. You sure?
It just doesn't make sense. And so like when we give away like a 1.5 or 2 or sometimes 3 tokens a day and they just hit the market right away and the chart just keeps going down, that literally goes against what we're trying to do. So we're going to refigure this out and we're going to find actual community members that want to be in the Goddity community, and those people are going to be the ones that win. So
awesome. And we'll still always burn, you know,
Yeah.
again, even if there is a negative scenario where people, you know, liquidate instantly, again, we're going to always burn. So we'll always have some degree in the long term, some type of positivity. But yeah, I get it. You know, it's not fun when any, you know, and it's just not Gotti, it's any cryptocurrency, right? You know, somebody gets something and they liquidate it. It's like, hey, you know, the whole purpose of this crypto experiment here, right, guys, is to acquire crypto. So when the bull run does hit, you have something to sell at a much higher price. But a lot of people are selling at the bottom. It's like, you know.
Damn degenerates.
And well, part of it is also like if, let's just say you're a prospective coin founder and you're watching shows like ours or any other spaces, right? And you see like, okay, they're giving away X coin today, and then you check it tomorrow and you notice that like every time these giveaways are done in all these spaces, it's just sold. Like, that's not the point of it. It's to reward people, to introduce them into a community potentially, or to help them fill their bags so that they can grow and like participate, right? Like I see Jake down there, right? So Jake's a huge MetaVixen holder, and I think he's got like 100 of them. But imagine he was like, "Oh, I'll give away a MetaVixen today. It's worth a fucking over $1,000," and it's just like you'd want to give it away to someone that wants it and wants to be a part of the community, as opposed to like, "Ooh, I can make $1,000 today."
Mike Lowry just posted, said, I actually bought some Gotti in anticipation of my free coins I won. I'm not selling. Like, that's it. Like, that's what we need to hear. Like, that kind of stuff. Like, not just.
Yeah, and it's an education type of thing, and again, I love this crypto space. I love this show, and it's all about fine tuning. You try something and you see how it goes, and if it's running a little clunky, well, you adjust the carburetor and get it running and purring smooth. So it's always welcome.
And now I'm going to say something at the risk of the requests blowing up. So please, please don't do this to me. I'd rather someone come up here asking general questions, be a part of like, ooh, I'm going to ask Dead Pixels a question, ask Maria a question, and then MKid's like, hey, like you were a great contributor on the space today. I'd rather just send you $100 in Gotti as opposed to like, hey, I just want to win a giveaway. I just want to win a giveaway. Like, we don't give a shit about how many people are in this space necessarily if they're just all here for the wrong reasons.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
That makes me feel very, very good to hear you say that, Mr. Dude.
No more questions about Gotti, because I always get the ones from the thing. How's your project security and safety? And I'm like,
yeah, you asked the same question yesterday. Didn't you listen to our answer? We said it's
I'm sitting here with the microphone mute. I'm like, please don't say Gotti. Please don't say Gotti. Please don't say Gotti. Then they say Ati. Yes, okay, I guess that's for me.
That's for you. That one's for you.
Another softball question for man. Yesterday was it was not moistening my loins. That's for sure.
Oh man,
what was up with that, man? Juicing my loins. That was it. Because I was listening to the gin and juice song earlier, and I was like getting down, and I was like, man, I wish I had some gin in my juice right now. For some goddamn reason, it's 9 o'clock, and then I thought about you juicing your loins yesterday for some reason. I don't know what that was all about.
I don't know where that came from, but hey, at the end of the day,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, But I sure appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for kind of understanding and letting us get through that. There's we're gonna make this right. We're gonna reward you guys. We want you guys to be happy and come here for the right reasons, like Mr. Dude says. And we'll figure this all out. So we love you guys. This is NFTuesday. This is Web3 Breakfast. Make sure you smash the like, hit the hearts, do the things, purple pill, yada yada yada. Y'all know the drill. Get your friends in here. We're talking NFTuesday. We got some hands. Let's go. Let's go Doom, Agent P, and then Frank.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning.
Yo.
Dead Pixels, just wanted a quick question, might be a dumb question. Are you guys by chance related to the Cardano project, Dead Pixels?
No, we're not.
Cool.
Hard-hitting questions.
Crickets.
It's so funny. I mean, it's funny, but the Dead Pixels that we're talking to is not on. I was going to say something about a dying chain, but I forgot I'm not supposed to be talking.
You're not supposed to rip on them. Remember yesterday? You're not supposed to rip on them no more.
They could be the chosen ones, and it's just the joke's on me. I forget. I don't want to be eating crow the rest of my crypto days, so I might as well shut up now.
Remember, like in South Park, where it turned out the Mormons were right. Everyone goes up to heaven, and they're like, fuck, we didn't get into heaven. Well, who was right then? Well, it was actually the Mormons. The Mormons were correct. Yeah, Cardano's like the Mormons of the crypto world, I guess. Anyway.
Do you have a second to talk to us about Cardano?
Yeah. Shout out real quick. Shout out to the YouTube chat. I see we got Coins Chick. We see Meg. I see Blocky, Sonia. I see you all in there. I got to get better at the YouTube chat. Y'all are the real heroes here. But shout out to you guys for being here. All right, let's get to was it Agent P's hand next?
Hello guys, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm fine. It's like I really have a question for Gotti though.
No, I know you're good. You were here. You're here the whole time, like last week. I know you're a legit human.
Okay, so today's giveaway, is there any minimum amount for the giveaway? I have $3 in my Phantom wallet. So, is there any minimum amount to buy Gotti to enter the giveaway?
No, there is no giveaway. We were just making jokes about all that stuff based on how people have treated the giveaways, but there are different things. Why don't you, if you click MKid's profile or go to the Gotti profile, hop into the Telegram, and we can help you out with all those questions, though.
Like Mr. Dude posted like
Yeah, there's not a real
to buy
giveaway though.
the
That's not. I was just being facetious because people were just coming here to take the free Gotti and sell it.
Basically
Ah.
the giveaway like the post means there is no giveaway. You guys have to go buy some Gotti on yourself to prove that people actually, you know.
I got it now.
Yeah.
I got it now. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No worries.
Kind of like one of those the jokes on you situations.
Well,
We
no,
call
no,
that
no,
the
no, no, no.
crypto switcheroo.
No, it's like the ball's in your court, right? Like, listen, there's like 300, there's less than 400
True
tokens
that, true
available
that.
on the open market. So if everybody just went in and started buying a little bit here and there, like that would change. And then all of a sudden people would be like, wait a second, what's happening here?
Wait a second, there's no Gotti left. I can't buy any Gotti.
Yeah, all of a
The
sudden.
heck? Just
So-
all gone.
Mr. Dude being Canadian and typically passive aggressive.
What do you mean? I'm not mad at you. Like, I'm fine.
Sorry. Frank, what you got for us, my guy?
No, I was just going to add on to the to your conversation there about people. That's what you do when you give stuff away, man. That's what they do. They just go and liquidate it as fast as possible.
Yep.
So that's why we that's why we kind of stopped doing it. You know, the Lazy Apes, we stopped kind of giving stuff away to free, for free, because we noticed it just ended up on the floor after a day or two, or maybe immediately. So we kind of reevaluated how we give stuff away, and we make sure that our closest holders give stuff, and you at least own 1 or 2 Lazy Apes before you're into the raffle or that kind of thing. That way,
it's a
helps
token gated
keep our
giveaway.
floor.
You gotta hold Gotti to
Yeah.
even qualify for the win. You gotta hold Gotti. That's it.
See,
You gotta be a holder.
Boom.
If you're gonna win Gotti
It's not
from
bad.
me,
Like, that's actually great. See, part of the reason Jay and I are like, we're like pretty like open books. I kind of like wear emotions on our sleeves kind of guys, where like we just tell you guys this stuff so that like, look, it sparked a conversation. And that was actually a great call, Frank, where it's like, yeah, like be a holder. Like Raspy gave away like Dip Beast, but you had to have a beast like that was cool, and it rewards people who have essentially helped support, right? And then of course it goes on the timeline and it gets more eyes. And I saw someone bought a beast because of that, where it's like it's that stuff, right? It's getting the wheels turning, and like the community, like this is fucking community.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great solution. It's a token gated giveaway. You have to be in the Gotti community. You have to either own an NFT or the tokens to qualify, and we'll figure out how to do all that stuff. And that's, man, we need like probably a dev to write a smart contract, huh?
I can write it, but it won't be.
This is going to be the best giveaway system in the history of man, because we are going to get rid of the Jeets. You got to be
I had one person said, why didn't you create a token that will penalize people for selling? I'm like, well, they already have that out there. It's called a honeypot, but it's kind of frowned upon. It just keeps going up and it never goes down. No one can sell. We just work. If I can make a contract where we could just honeypot it for 1 year, everybody's forced to hold, right? And then the price goes to the moon.
Dude, you know what's funny?
I love Richard Hurt style.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny that you say that? I wonder if you would get yourself into trouble, but where you did something like that, but it was just set up as a time-released honeypot, as a staking mechanism and it's a social experiment where no one knows, right? You're like, send 1 soul. So it's really not a big commitment. Now, to some people, 1 soul may be a little bit different to others. To most of us in the space, 1 soul is not a whole big deal. So it would be that kind of thing where it's like you send in your soul, boom, honeypotted. You can't sell it, but guess what? Now it's locked up for a year. And then guess what? You're going to get some rewards in some way, shape, or form from something, because in a year.
Right, let me dial up the SEC and see if they approve of that. I think.
Yeah, right.
Maybe a little
ransom, but then
the rules are clear
for your own good. We're doing it for your own good. We'll tell everybody.
So kidnapping and Ponzi, like, I don't know how you combine the two of those into a federal charge, but definitely sounds like it right there.
I just met a guy that did not realize that he had on a old USB stick his private keys from Bitcoin that he got in 2012.
Ooh, wow, good for him.
He just retired.
Yeah, his life just changed for sure.
Because he never knew he even had it. He said it was the best thing that ever happened, because he said he would have sold it a long time ago.
Good for him.
So
I love to hear stories like that, man. That's so cool. That guy, obviously his life has totally changed, huh?
Oh yeah, the father of 7, able to send all his kids to college.
Oh, dude, like
for the people that actually deserve it, not the guy that's going to go get cocaine and hookers. That
exactly.
not that guy, but a guy that's been working, busting his ass for his family, now able to do everything for him. Yeah, there are good stories out there.
Oh, dude, that's what needs to be celebrated, man. If man, it would be fun to do an interview with someone like that, but that is not something you want to bring attention on to yourself.
But he may. I'll see. I'll see if I can round him up.
Okay.
But he's a friend, and who knows?
All of a sudden, like, oh weird, where'd M-Kid go? And he goes, oh hello, I'm this guy.
Using a voice changer.
No. I've already admitted my mistake. I already admitted selling 10,000 Bitcoin in 2013. So I still have a few left, but not. Yeah, don't be the M-Kid. Don't do the $700 million.
You know what would be an interesting conversation, and I'm sure we could maybe at some point in the future have it. But you just said your biggest thing was selling 10,000 Bitcoin. Just to have a sit down with you and Laszlo, because he's also famous for selling 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 Papa John's pizzas. That'd be a fun conversation.
I got over $1 million. I didn't get Papa John's pizza. It did change my life, but it was a stupid mistake because, again, you get influenced by people around you, man. My sphere of influence was, you're crazy. What are you thinking? This thing's $100 a token. You paid less than $5. Get out. And that's kind of it's funny. That's, a lot of people's story in crypto. How many times have you sold something because somebody else influenced you, or the pressure of society or your group was like, hey, and you look back and like, shit, I shouldn't have done that. So that's why I'm a little bit more diamond handed. So less cheating.
I sold 8 Gotti Sorry at $22 when it was pumping in the very beginning. So I feel you. One day this will be me, but I still got tons. So don't you fucking worry.
You made up for it, my friend. Yeah. So and you've added value to your bag. So again, sometimes that's life, right? Sometimes you don't appreciate something till you get rid of it, and when you get rid of it, then you're like, oh shit, I should have maybe done that. But it's welcome to life, right? We can't be perfect all the time.
I think that's a rule that applies to ladies too. Sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, for us guys, like we can't take our ladies for granted either. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, no, of course, yes, you're absolutely correct.
Just saying.
Is it your anniversary, or are you in trouble, or just?
Yeah, like what was that all about?
Not at all.
Is Whitney down there, like just?
I don't even know. I don't know. I think Whitney and Emmy are at class today or something like that. I don't even think she's here. I'm not in trouble for anything. Oh, I mean, I guess she is here, but whatever.
Oh, she's down there at the bottom.
Listen, the grass isn't necessarily greener on the other side. Sometimes you got to take your grass and you got to water it, and then it'll become.
She's listening.
Hey,
she's hiding down there. She's definitely listening.
And just so you know, sometimes in the spring, you got to take, if you got that nice grass that's like a golf course grass, you gotta manicure it. You got to take care of it.
We do have a couple hands. Maybe one of them is NFT related. Are they, Mike?
I don't know. You gotta get talk about life. Go ahead, Mike.
I can speak to some NFTs. What I was gonna say though was about the whole sellers of Gotti and stuff like that, and just sellers in general. It depends. It reminds me of something that Jordan Peterson said. Is like people that have more money and that are a little more stable are able to think of more long term. And when you have less money and you're worried about paying your next bill, or it's just crazy, you're just putting out fires. You tend to think more short term. So I think that's kind of like the market psychology there. Is like people that like from other countries at $100 US is like, hey, that's like my groceries for the month. They're gonna think short term. But meanwhile, if they held it, that would have been food for a year,
right.
for example, right? So that's
Mike,
kind of like where I go with that.
And Mike, and please, you guys have to, you guys all have to understand, like, this is an emotional thing to stop this, because what you just said, we've been doing this give it away for a long time. We've given away a lot of coins to a lot of people, and I cannot tell you the amount of email messages that I've gotten, because I deal with every single one of these, of this $100 to some people has changed the course of several months for them, because of where they live. Like, I get it. I get the importance to $100 to someone that lives in a rural part of the world. Like, that's a game changer, right? That could be the whole month. It's an emotional thing. I get it. But at the same time, like, we've got to find a better way because the whole community is hurting because of these kind of actions. And so it was not a decision. Listen, these are the kind of things that like I have to think about. Like we're hurting huge communities. We are helping people, like, but we got to make a decision on what to do. And we're going to find a way to make it right so that we can still bring people into the community. We can still give away money. And yeah, if people got to take profit, they have to take profit. But it's too consistent. And it wasn't good. It was going against everything that we were trying to do. But I'm telling you what, man, like you're right. $100 to people in other parts of the world is totally different to people like us.
You nailed it. I mean, it's a balancing act in this space, right? You have to balance out the generosity with value, right? So you have to find that happy medium, and sometimes the markets don't support that time, and then another time when it's pumping, shit, we may be able to do huge giveaways, and it has no negative repercussions, So again, it's always that fine tune.
Speaking of NFTs, though, so you asked if the NFTs are dead, and ask anybody that's playing off the grid now. NFTs are not dead. I thought the items in the game were not NFTs yet, and I was corrected by Crypto Stash. Me and him were chatting, and all the items, everything's on.
So if you look at all the items, like you're playing the game, you're unlocking the hexes that you extract from the game, and then you get your items in game. It's all done on the chain. I didn't even realize it was so smooth and worked so well that I had no idea that they were even on chain.
Off the grid has been awesome. That's a great point. And also just like really, really, whatever you just did or wherever you are, you've never sounded better in your entire life.
My God, dude. It's like aliens warped you up into their spaceship and now you have the best mic ever.
Hear the buzz?
Like I've never heard you so
like,
clear.
And then all of a sudden it was like, who the hell is this new guy?
So when I got a phone call, it turned off my headphones, and now it's back on my phone, and you guys are on speakerphone.
Oh, your headphones suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the worst, dude.
Yeah, your headphones are terrible. Your speakerphone, which is usually a much worse option, is so much better.
Let's give him some Gotti so he can jeet it real fast, and then you can use that money to go buy some new headphones.
I sent you those IsoTune headphones. I'm gonna DM you them. They're best, bro.
Yeah, damn me, because I'm struggling here. Like it's really fucking loud here.
Oh, it's so funny. Your speakerphone really does a much better job of isolating the ambient noise around you.
Yeah, my earbuds were like $30, and they're definitely made in China.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah,
there we go. Okay, we're gonna fix this.
I honestly think I don't think you need to unmute yourself as fast. Let's try an experiment, Mike. Keep yourself unmuted for a few minutes. Yeah, you're literally not making any noise. You don't have to be so quick to mute yourself.
Well, and I'm sitting right beside a leaky airline too.
That is actually wild because usually, no joke, I make those shower jokes. It actually sounds like there's running water behind you usually. Like, this is incredible. You changed the future of the whole fucking show.
Yeah, dude, just use speakerphone the whole time. Just use speakerphone literally the whole time. You sound amazing.
Can you hear me?
Nope.
Hello?
Can you remove you, Frank?
I want to ask you for the scalability of your project.
Okay, now you guys are ruining it. It was all fun and games.
Yeah. Why?
This is almost like back in the day when we had like no poop talk.
Oh yeah,
it's become this.
The problem with having a no poop talk rule is that it's like you have to address the rule, and the moment that you address the rule is when it would just go off the rails every single time. And so like that was always another, you talk about balancing act. You just like at this point it's like, if it happens, it happens. I hope that it doesn't. We just wish for the best, but we can't say that there's no poop talk, because then the poop talk happens like we're doing right now. So Nathan, GM
exactly.
Fan. Or actually,
Nathan, turn your headphones off.
Actually, I think Famo may have had his hand up or her hand up. I'm sorry that
for a long time, I think. Yeah.
Let's go Famo, and then we'll swing it on over to Nathan. Apologies.
Hi, Raptor Breakfast. Just family here. It's actually he. So this is my first time coming on the show to speak. Though I have been listening for a couple of months. I think almost 2 months now. So I got onboarded into the Gaudi community through Dr. Alicia. So she told me to hop onto the Telegram did a couple of stuff, and I think I got a few bucks worth of got. So I think I've been holding that for a couple of while now. So I decided to start jumping onto the spaces and listening to what has been coming through for Gotti over the past few months. So I think I'm pretty excited to know that there's a particular token that is worth much more rarer than in Bitcoin. So I think that's pretty amazing. And I think I know Mr. Dude here and a couple of other stuff. So sorry for being specific though. But I think I've been enjoying the NFT Tuesday so far. And I'm not like I'm NFT maxi, but I think I got onboarded into Web3 through NFTs. So I know my way around NFTs very well for like the past 3 years. I've been a community moderator for a couple of projects, and I've been doing content creation for a couple of projects out there. So I think that's what I do basically. So and I jump into the Dead Pixels club and Discord to say hi, hello to them and see what's going on there. So that's just a brief. And so I just have a little question for everyone on the speaker panel. What do you guys think about NFT marketplaces? What do you guys think about them? Like the prominence one is OpenSea, and I think the other one that's majorly for Solana, the other one Magic Eden. Yeah. So what do you guys think about NFT marketplaces? Like what's the future around them?
I think they're good for some intended purposes as far as maybe bringing more exposure, but I kind of at this point, and this is me kind of where I think I'm at in the stage of the game, I like what projects have started to do where they create their own marketplace so that they can have their own secondary, right? There's really, if let's just use a kid called Beast, because that's kind of the example that I'm using here. That they've pulled all of their stuff off OpenSea. You can't buy and sell it off OpenSea, or at least you're not supposed to, right? And the whole point is to just keep it in their ecosystem. Why not, right? You've got all the the different features and aspects of what that community offers right there in the Beast Studio and all that. So why would you go? And I get that it does create a bigger market, but if you do your right marketing, then you bring people into the community through your social media, then you can bring them into your own marketplace anyway. Or if it's that third-party marketplace that is the conduit that brings them in, then so be it. I get the purpose of them, but at this point, I prefer when projects or communities develop their own. Because I mean, what's the point of OpenSea? At one point, like during the NFT heyday, wasn't OpenSea making like over $1 billion a day in transaction fees? Like that's fucking wild. And what do they have to show for it? What do they do for the community? Nothing. No one should have that kind of money or power when they don't provide anything other than just a platform. And that's, I'll throw money in the jar because that's my opinion, baby. Boom.
So how then do you leverage the word leverage, or how then, because the major NFT marketplaces we have, I think a lot of them bring some sort of exposure. I get that, but why would an NFT want to create their own marketplace? So how do they get that level of exposure? Because I think it all boils down to marketing, but not a lot of these projects know how to go about them.
Right.
Marketing. So wouldn't that be DOA on your own part if you're having your own marketplace whereby you're not doing well as regards to marketing? But so I don't really know what to do about that. Maybe we just have to have some other better NFT marketplaces, because I think OpenSea has been quite shitty for some time, from time immemorial.
Yeah,
you get me, right?
Absolutely. And I think I want to get actually Nathan's perspective on this, and just want to just cap up what I was saying, where that was more about generative art, right? Like with what the Beasts are doing and how you're really keeping it into your community, right? And if you noticed what they did over the bear market, they put their heads down and they built, and you saw a lot of the community really kind of take over. Really, the Beasts had they gave them, the art, right? So you could take your files, put them in Blender, render, whatever it is. And now you saw the community really run wild with that. Now they've taken a lot of that community input and building, integrated that into the game, and it's all the other things that they're doing, right? And so they really put the ball into the community's court to really say, like, all right, how creative can we be? And I think that because they really built their own ecosystem, it makes sense for them to have their own marketplace, because now all that stuff just stays within it, right? Like in Raspy and what they do, they give a lot back to their community and all this stuff, like what Mr. Dude said, like if you were a holder, you got the bit piece, all that kind of stuff. So for certain, I think it's maybe situational, right? Now, if you've got music, if you've got all sorts of other verticals within the quote unquote NFT ecosystem, platforms definitely serve a different purpose. That being said, definitely want to hear what Nathan at Liquid NFTs has to say, and then we'll swing it on over to Dead Pixels.
Hello. Do
Hey.
I start with saying, can everyone hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to Famo's question, I think you guys know my opinion on this. I think marketplaces, they're good for one thing, and that's for forcing the prices down. But that's mainly because there's a problem with the way that they're set up. It's an industry issue. And you're quite right in what you said, Jay. You look at what these marketplaces are earning, and they're giving nothing back. Yeah, I mean, nothing. Their pockets are just getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And it is one of the reasons why we launched Liquid NFTs, why we're dropping that, because it puts the holders of the NFTs in the position of OpenSea, whereas the holders get fatter and fatter and fatter, and the project owners' pockets get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I look at all of these NFT marketplaces, and I look at it and go, really, what are you doing different? What are you doing other than you're taking the money, whereas he was taking the money? You give nothing back to NFT investors. You're giving nothing back to the people that should matter. And I think until these, and I'm sure once we're live later on this month, I think is going to shake up the industry massively. And I think you'll start seeing a lot of these marketplaces follow our lead and start to change the way that they operate. Only because it will become unsustainable. If you have an option as an NFT investor and you go, well, do I buy over here on OpenSea or Blur or wherever and watch my NFT go down, or do I buy over here on Liquid and watch my NFT go up? Eventually, over a course of months, this isn't going to be an overnight thing, but as the concept builds from a marketing angle, ultimately people are going to go, why would I ever want to use this? I think NFTs have been the only part of this kind of ecosystem, whereas people purchase an NFT. I mean, I've said this before, like who here would buy a token? And I mean, if I said to you, Jay, or Mr. Dude, or Kerry, anyone, and I said, I've got this really good token, do you want to buy it? And they go, well, yeah, what liquidity is in there? Oh, there's no liquidity. Oh, what's the market cap? Oh, there's not a market cap. Why would I buy a token? I mean, you'd laugh. You go, why the hell am I going to buy a token with no liquidity? Right. But people have been doing that with NFTs blindly and then complaining why the NFT market and the NFT industry is broke and why it constantly goes down in price. You go, well, if they have no dollar value, it has to happen.
Right. Or you have to be buying it strictly because you actually enjoy the art.
Well, of course, yeah. But again, there's only so much. Obviously, there are NFTs with utility, but there's only so much enjoyment you get. It's not as if it's on the wall and you enjoy it every day. You've physically got to log in and sit there and look. And how long are you staring at your phone enjoying the art?
Well, it can be though. It can be on your wall if you have it printed up. I actually have some of my my own work has been like blown up and printed out, and it hangs on somebody's wall right now. It's just totally possible.
Exactly, but that's more the visual, isn't it? I mean, I could take anyone's NFT and put it on my wall to enjoy their NFT. I don't have to own it. So I think it's getting that kind of real balance.
Right.
Um,
And I think it's a fair point to make. While you guys are absolutely correct that it is possible to get an NFT printed, to get a screen, to do all that kind of stuff, it is not that is more of the exception than the rule, right? That is not as common as that it is common. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
we're
removing
not-
all of us, like I've got, I mean, maybe not in here, but at my house, I have same thing. I've got some NFTs printed out on the canvas. Like we do that kind of stuff, but most normal people don't give a fuck. And that's why, like, you know, most people coming into this space, like that, again, take our emotions out of that, because again, we're invested emotionally into this ecosystem. Most people are not. That's where we're thinking about this, because money drives most people, not emotion. Well, I take that back. Emotion drives most people, but more people would be into this for the money, the liquidity aspect, than the emotion of having my favorite art piece behind me. You know what I mean?
I think the art. I think the art comes down to value. It has to come down to value. I mean, if you use the Mona Lisa as an example, and I know I'm being completely extreme, but there's only one original Mona Lisa. But I could go and buy a canvas print of the Mona Lisa tomorrow and have it on my wall, and I can enjoy that. I can look at that and have it, but it has no value.
You can't sell it for the same price as the Mona Lisa.
Exactly, and that's the point. It has no value. So the value needs to be on the blockchain. The visualization can be on your wall, but the value, and at the moment, NFTs have, and it's, I don't think I'm talking out of turn, they have no dollar value, like my print of the Mona Lisa. I like the art, but it doesn't have a value. And
the value could be tied, sorry to interrupt, but the value could be tied to what it's cost to mint it.
Of course, but then you've got to rely on someone else valuing it exactly the same as a peer-to-peer.
Post-mint, right? And what you guys are trying to do, and like it leads into liquid NFTs, is you guys are trying to help provide like liquidity backing so that your NFT is always worth at least, you know, like what you minted it for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really passionate about what we've got. I mean, you guys know that, and I genuinely think we've solved an industry problem. I really do. The amount of conversations I have with people, and I say, "How many NFTs do you own?" They are, I don't buy NFTs. Well, why? They have no value as an asset. And I go, what? Well, it's the value you put on it, surely. And they go, well, no, there has no dollar value. I'm relying on buying that. And I'm relying on, and this takes me back to the marketplace conversation. They're saying, well, I'm relying on someone else wanting to buy it at a higher price. But then you've got that question, why would they? And at all the same time, you've got these platforms like OpenSea and these marketplaces. The way they incentivize people to offload their NFTs is you have to list it than the cheapest NFT to have the best chance of selling it. So they're unintentionally forcing the prices down. And while they're forcing the prices down, they're earning, as a platform, millions and millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in its very entirety, the marketplaces are unintentionally or intentionally, who knows, rugging the NFT owners. Because if if the only incentive is to sell it cheaper, that's all that's, do you know what I mean? That's the only possibility.
Yeah, you know, you your price down, and then eventually you have to either launch another project, which benefits them again.
Well, and you know, the whole,
yeah, exactly.
And it was the whole thing, and you know, you have to look at this from a pragmatic view, right? And again, you pull the emotion aside of, you know, we're talking about with our friends and our artists and all that stuff, and a lot of one-on-ones is probably different, right? I think maybe we can generalize more what we're talking about at the generative collections that we all experienced and dealt with over, you know, the past several years, where even the best, even the biggest, the most expensive had fall from grace, right? Like, look at the Bored Apes, went from $1 million or $500, $600, $7,100 to $40,000 right now. I mean, they're like less than 10 ETH. Like, that's insane, right? Like, so go ahead.
We sorry to stop you there. Just on that before it moves off. We actually done an analysis with Bored Ape, and just based on their volume, if they launched on day one on the liquid system, there would not be one Bored Ape in existence that has less than 500,000 liquidity inside it. And that
Nathan, can you just quickly give like
Wrong.
some of our speakers
Real
some of our-
quick, wrong. The only
on what
Jason
basis?
Williams, he sacrificed his ape and brought it over to the, I think, the Bitcoin ecosystem like a fucking idiot. Like he burnt his ape to like put it on whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Can you just give a quick background on liquid NFTs, maybe for like our speakers, because I know their NFT projects and any of our newbies?
Yeah. But I mean, the reason I say that about Bored Apes is we worked this based on their volume of at the time it was 1,330,000 ETH that they had transacted, and that ETH price was at various prices all the way up. Now it's more than that. I think they've now transacted about 1.6 million ETH. But effectively, what Liquid is doing is we're taking NFTs and we're injecting liquidity directly into the NFT. And the only person that can access that liquidity is the NFT owner themselves. So when they sell that NFT, the liquidity moves with it. Therefore, if that liquidity is continuously increasing in price, the floor price and the resale price of the NFT will continue to increase. It has to. You're never going to sell. If you've got $1,000 in liquidity inside your NFT, you're never going to sell it for $1,000, because what you can do is you can burn that NFT, and it triggers a claim function which drops the liquidity straight into your wallet. But now what that does is reduces the number of NFTs within that collection, makes them rarer, therefore increases the floor price again. But if you've got $1,000 worth of liquidity in your NFT, now what you can do is you can actually go out there and say, well, I'm going to sell this, I want $1,500. But now the guy that buys it, he's buying a $1,500 NFT and only risking $500, because it comes with $1,000 locked inside it, of which only he can access. So it doesn't matter if whales, like a token, whales are dumping on the charts. It doesn't affect his liquidity. If anything, it increases it. Because whereas OpenSea might take, like as Jay said, like that $1 billion a day, we're taking that and splitting it back into liquidity. So all of the platform fees is increasing the price of every other NFT's liquidity, therefore increasing the prices, increasing the floor price, increasing profits, and it flips the whole industry, and that whole concept of marketplace is 360. Instead of incentivizing people to list it at a lower price, no one's ever going to list their NFT below their liquidity value. It's always going to be at least 50% above their liquidity value, and that liquidity continues to rise. Are you with me? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like, I think you are solving a problem, and then, like you said, the risks are minimal compared to the potential rewards.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just like anybody that's bought NFTs. No, it's not fun to lose money, and we all lost money. We all lost money in NFTs, and the whole point is like, how can we fix that? How can we fix that so that people, again, remember, we're the beta test, right? We have to take these L's. We have to deal with these things in order for the right approach to be taken moving forward. And something like this, building liquidity into an NFT, remember, these are investment interests. You're spending money. Like, and I get some people just do it. Some people, very few people, just do that for the love. Most people do this because of the expectation that the value will rise. And so,
do you know what really made me think about this? Is I was having a chat with William Quigley. William Quigg is a name that not a lot of people associate with, only because he's not like CZ. But that guy founded and created Tether USDT. He owns Wax Network. He's heavily involved in the NFT space. He comes from gaming industry, and this guy is, and I've said it over and over, one of the most knowledgeable people that I've had the privilege of speaking with over the past few years. And when we was on that conversation, I said, just out of interest, how many like NFTs do you own? That's your thing. That's your industry. And he laughed. He said, none that you would that you would relate to. I don't buy pixelated pictures. I don't buy this art, this JPEGs. And I said, well, can I ask why? I think I know the answer. He said, they just have no value. Like there's no monetary value. To me, it's dead money. It's wasted money. He said, now a gaming NFT, different ball game. I can utilize it. I can, hence that like the wax.io type thing, the wax network. And that made me think, you've got someone that's operating within this sector that is saying they have no value. So then the solution becomes, how do we add value? We need to add value for people's mindset to change.
I think like when it comes to like art and pictures, that's just one subset of NFTs. So NFTs can be basically anything that we have in the physical world can be essentially an NFT.
Right.
Completely.
Right. So,
yeah.
So like
it can be a concert ticket.
And if things are associated with assets that have volatility and stuff, like I think that's ultimately what eases the mind of more normal investors is that, hey, like let's use what happened, and maybe these are just extreme examples that would never actually happen without protocols in place, but let's try and have the discussion with use the Bored Apes, the fall from grace, right? Let's say from 100 ETH down to less than 10 ETH. Let's just use that as an example. And then let's make this a high-rise building, right? In whatever city you want it to be. Now you invest your money into this high-rise building and you would expect this thing, because it's new construction, the Bored Apes were brand new, yada, yada. You expect this thing to be an appreciating asset because that's what's going on. But now, unfortunately, the US dollar is just it's just, I think the example is probably not the right one, but do you get like having liquidity built in for the RWA ecosystem? I think is something that could probably even take this thing to the next level, right? Unless I'm not seeing it right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I get the point you're kind of that you're trying to make. It's that whole Bored Ape 100 ETH down to 10 ETH and then everywhere in between. Imagine, and this is how we got to our figures with Bored Ape.
But people lost both ways, right? And I'll use me as the mutant for the example on that one, because again, we'll do more damage in the market than that loss was. But I spent 15 ETH at whatever it was probably $20,000 when I bought my mutant, right? For 15 ETH, all in all. I ended up selling it for 2 ETH for like $5,000. So I lost not only the dollar value, I got wrecked on the dollar value, and I got wrecked on the ETH, right? Like that's not something that traditional investors are going to allow to happen in any stretch of the imagination when it comes to, getting into NFTs as investment strategies.
I mean, if you ask, I was going to say, if you ask, sorry to interrupt whoever that was, I apologize, but if you ask anyone and say, how many NFTs do you have? And then say, how many of them have been running for longer than 3 months and how many of them are in profit? As a general rule of thumb, the answer that I get when I answer that question is, oh, I own 20, they're all down. And down ridiculously. Or I bought one at $100 last year. They're now trading at $2. It's because they can't go up. There's the project owners have had their money. They've gone. They're off. They're not earning anything else from it. So from a business point of view, why throw good money after bad? So you need to give them an income. You need to say, well, actually, if you're selling $100 NFT, let's lock 50 into the liquidity. Now you've limited that potential loss from the buyer, and you increase that liquidity value. And now, out of every transaction, we'll make sure you get an additional income coming in. But now you're going to be getting a percentage of an appreciating price. So if your NFT is now trading at $200 a piece and you're earning 20, now that works. And everyone else's is going up as well. But it doesn't make sense for a project to raise 10 million on a collection and then start just throwing the money away. It just doesn't make any sense because they're throwing it away just for the sake of throwing it away. But then again, if they can then generate 200,000 a year from that, then they're going to start reinvesting and therefore marketing or 200,000 a month, whatever that might be. Mm-hmm. But when you look at all of these major projects, everyone, again, you still talk about Yuga Labs, still talk about Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, all of these things. But how many billions have been lost? And it's always going to be the case.
Absolutely. I would say, all of that for, any of the premier, the blue chips, the OG collections, the CryptoPunks for whatever reason have done a fantastic job of maintaining their value and their floor. But that is it. That literally is it. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I'll get off my high horse now, though. But I am passionate about this. I think things need to change at an institutional level, and people are scared of doing it because they go, "Oh, well, we're never going to be able to do it." Well, why not? Of course you can. Just change it, and if you create something good, people will follow.
Yeah,
and they'll realize it's good, and they'll follow your lead and go, "Actually, not only does the concept work, but we're now seeing this negative is now turned into a positive."
Yep.
And yeah, no, I truly believe that you need to change things institutionally in order to make the biggest changes.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think that it's one of those things where people maybe don't even realize that's the issue, right? And like when you think about it on the whole, and this is just a broad generalization. This is definitely because I'm an older person, but the NFT ecosystem and what we saw with the big boom was a very immature market. It was a lot of first-time investors that didn't understand what they were doing or getting themselves into, and mistakes were made by everybody, right? But the whole idea of coming up with a solution that starts to protect people, again, after we get through the beta test, you have to understand, like, this was the first time, the last couple of years was the first time anybody experienced any of this. And so we find what works, what doesn't. We throw shit at the wall, if you will, and then we react and adapt. And I think that that's one of the major driving factors that we're going to see as we shift into this next iteration of what NFTs or digital assets are, is that some of the things that didn't work and maybe some things that were comfortable are going to be gone. And it might be just a little different, but change is good, especially in an emerging market like this. All right, let's get to some of these hands because I know we probably got some tired arms. We'll go Maria because obviously ladies first, and then we'll go over to Fama.
Thank you. No, I just wanted to say, like, 100% we should separate, which is like the NFT space in general, like generative and so on, and then the art scenes. Because yes, right, maybe you're losing money, but myself as an art collector, I've never bought something with my mind thinking about, okay, this may lose value or whatever. Yes, you can do the right click save thing, but who are collector, actually the vibe and the feeling is completely different. It's like, imagine you're collecting, I don't know, like Pokemon cards or whatever. Yes, you can buy some of them on AliExpress, but the ones who really collect it want the original ones because it has its value. Then also going back and talking about marketplaces, I would love, like, seriously to see a change in the scenes. But to be honest, after years here in the space, we have to agree, like, the majority of people, they are lazy because there are options which are better. But what the majority of people are going to do, they're going to go to OpenSea, they're going to go to Magic Eden because they are used to that, even though they are cheaty, especially OpenSea. Why they keep doing it? Because they're used to do so. So how we can make a smaller, like, this gap between, lack of education and lack of motivation to go to different places. And that is my question. Like I would love to see different things happening, but the reality is like the majority of them, they're going to continue going and doing the same because people are lazy. They don't want to spend few minutes to learn a different marketplace, even though if that one benefits them.
I like that. I like that. Let's see, Famo, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I had my hand up. So I think it has been an interesting conversation so far from liquid NFTs and the other contributors also. So I think I learned a pretty lot, and I learned a lot about value and marketplaces. I just think projects needs to do more as regards to their marketing and they owning their own NFT marketplaces. I think it's going to be a nice initiative, but I just fear for a little bit of one thing, which is they having just to be at their own will I say it at the echo chamber or their own space? Because I think if having your own marketplace, I think you should be able to give other projects a spotlight to be on your own marketplace. So it won't just be just your own projects and every other thing you're doing just there. So it won't be like you're just keeping your community just on one place. So that's why I'm laying more emphasis on marketing and more exposure. So that's just a bit for now. Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I appreciate you, Maria. I appreciate you and your perspective. I know Dead Pixels had to run. They said they had a call that came up, but this is it's I think an interesting time, right? When you think about where we are in our journey in this crypto market, at this particular time with NFTs, how you're starting to see communities pop up really kind of in conjunction with coins. I've said this before. We see really the NFT bros infiltrated the crypto space, and I think it's at the end of the day a very positive thing. If you were to look back, that was really a fresh breath of air for me. It being a coin bro for a while, and then when NFTs came on the scene, it was a lot less toxicity, a lot more community vibes, a lot more, hey, let's do this together, which was really kind of a cool change. And then obviously the bear market happened, and we start to see some camps get dwindled down. And again, we talk about the floor prices and all that stuff, and as it turns out, when solutions come, and maybe we'll see this next iteration of generative AI and communities form, and the whole idea again, the whole trait group thing I talk about. I see Didish in the group. He's here today. Shout out to Didish. He really is the one who taught me all about how you could take your IP and your trade groups and your like-minded people, and you can do what you want from there. You can create a business. We talk about that on the show. And so really, as we move forward with NFTs, there is going to be some changes, and I think it's for the better. And it's talk about even like what we want to do as individuals, become 1% better every single day. You have to see the ecosystem continue to grow and get better, and protecting people, and maybe the 404 thing, and we still got to learn more about that, where things are wrapped with an asset, and how that plays a role and protects the value of an asset when someone spends their money. Because again, some people, I buy NFT sometimes just because of the way it looks. I don't care about the price. And if it were to go down, that's okay, because I don't care. And I know that there's other people that feel that same way. But for the most part, like when people spend their money on something, they don't want it to lose value. And so finding ways and protocols that we can put into place to protect the people. Come on, man, that's a no-brainer. But it'll take a little time. But Nathan, I appreciate you dropping some alpha on us. Be frank, what you got for us, fam?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you letting me back up, but I was getting the car washed. I was going to say, I know a lot of people have lost. Hey, oh, my bad. No, I know a lot of people have lost money in this space, but to be frank with you, I've lost bare minimal, because I've only stuck to one project, and that is with D-Dish and the Lazy Apes, and everything they're going through, the transformation. And to be quite frank with you, I believe the project is always maintained somewhere around mint price. So, we've had our ups, we've had our downs, but we've always maintained somewhere around mint price. And to see that, we've been in this space for over 2 years now. And so many people have come and gone and this and that and another, and we're still at mint price, we're still building. So that's something that's real bullish to me. I really haven't lost anything, but we're still going. And the way they do things is they're releasing the transformation, and how they're doing, and everything they do has a method and is done for a reason. Whether people understand it right then or don't understand it, they do stuff for a reason that helps the floor and other projects, like the other collections we have, like the holiday collections.
I know it all too well, and in full disclosure, all of my my lazy apes that I had, all my mutants, all that stuff, I still hold all that. Like I watch who's building, I watch who's still being present in the space, right? Like if people are still active, attention's gone, prices are going to go down, and if the floor price sinks below what you got in at, like that's fine. I bought a bunch of my lazy apes at a ETH, right? And they're worth nowhere near that right now, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that they can't come back. That doesn't mean that the King's Council or, what I got several of the Kings in that collection. Like there was a lot of talks. Like when the attention comes back into the ecosystem, if people want to pick that kind of stuff back up, I'm there for it. Right. I believe in all of that. Like I understand like how important that stuff in using your IP is. And I'm really excited for the actual transformations when they do happen. But, again, you go back to what are people doing in the background when the attention is not here? They're consistent. They're building. They're growing. And when the people do come back, that's when things are going to change. And like, Warren Buffett said in the stock world, right? And, really it's the transformation of wealth to the patient. That's going to happen here. It's going to happen in NFTs. Attention will come back. I think that we need to see, and again, you've heard my plan. This is my game plan for crypto for the next couple months. And this is how I see it all working out, is that all of us that are here are the ones that are here. We're not going to pick up too much more retail between now and the end of the year, but we're going to have, we will pick up a little bit because it's going to get spicy. It's going to get exciting. We're going to get damn near close to $100,000, but it is too high of a psychological level for us to break that between now and any time into the early part of 2025. And I think we got to get through the first 100 days of our new administration. Hopefully it's the Trump administration because they are so pro crypto. That happens. We talk about Bitcoin and crypto and strategic reserves again in those first 100 days. Then we know it's a priority. And at that point, we start to race back up to 100K. And then the retail piles in. And then all of us ride our bags to the moon. And then people start pulling profits. And as soon as the profits start being pulled, every collection that you ever were a part of that is worth a damn that has been building is going to go back up. That's how I see it working. Is it going to work that way? I don't know, but that's how I see it working, because that's how usually it works. If people got to pull their profits, they got to put it elsewhere. And I know me in particular, like, and when I pull my profits from the bull run, I'm buying a Bored Ape, 100%. There's a lot of people that are just like me. I had a mutant in the last run. I want a Bored Ape this run. There's a lot of people.
Well, would you rather pull your profits at $100 or pull your profits at $1,000? Or would you rather leave it and build a business around it? So there's multiple things with different things you can do in this space. It depends what asset you hold, if you hold coins or if you hold NFTs. And we all know NFTs are for consumer based, and we know the consumer market really isn't here yet. So you just need to align yourself with who is actually truly building in this space and not who's blowing smoke up your ass.
That's a very good point.
We lost both our guests. I feel depressed. We could have asked them that question, maybe. But
I mean,
shit, I wish I got to squeeze Will's brain a little bit harder, man. That guy had some knowledge. But we'll get him back on the show sometime. And I wanted to ask Maria when her next collection was coming out, and if she needed any help with Women of Cosmos. I imagine her DMs are open, so if you are interested in Women of Cosmos or whatever, just reach out to Maria C, and I'm sure she would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Anyways, that's all I got.
Appreciate you. Well, I mean, I thought it was a good conversation. Hopefully that, people just know that we are very conversational. We get a lot of people, a lot of great opinions, and people just chime up. And that's the whole point. Is this is the Web3 breakfast, and it's a community show. It's by the community for the community. So be a part of it. Raise your hand. Come just be the star of the show. That's what I want. I want to hear from other people. I know a lot of, when we hear people come up and say, this is my first time in this show or speaking on a stage in any presence like that, that makes my day. And so, again, I hope that we are conversational enough and people feel the ease that we are. We just hope that everybody has a good time in this show. So thanks for being here. I think that's it for the day.
I was going to say, we're just like The View.
Yeah.
But less bitchy. And I'm just trying to figure out which one of us is Whoopi.
I was just going to say, which one of us is Whoopi? You
Definitely Jay Chaney's.
I am not Whoopi Goldberg. All right. I'll be any one of those confusing ladies, but I do not want to be Whoopi at all. Doom, what you got for us?
You want to be Whoopi if it's like Sister Act Whoopi, like fucking years ago, Beauty Whoopi.
No, you're going to be woke Whoopi.
Hey,
that's fine. All right, child. We out of here. It's been a great time. I love you all. Fucking go fight with all your white friends. Peace out.
Jesus Christ, Doom. Did you have anything?
Well, if we ever thought this show was going to go anywhere, it's definitely not now.
Hey,
I just got an email from The View, a cease and desist about talking about Whoopi. So I think we got to go, guys. I'm going to shut this one down.
We've been canceled.
Trim that last few minutes off. Shouts out to Carrie to putting the NFTuesdays together, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, we'll reach out to Maria and see if we can get her back on, and Dead Pixels. We'll see if we can give them some more time. But it was fun to hear from them and have a good conversation. I appreciate you guys. On your way out, smash the like. If you are on YouTube, if you're watching on X, don't be a bozo. I don't understand why it's so freaking hard for you guys to just turn your phone, hit the heart, and then turn it back. It's real easy. But anyway, it is what it is. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, do something. Oh, you heard several stories today, several times throughout this show. And I think I'm going to start pointing these things out a little bit more, where the whole theme is just that consistency, right? You just keep level up. You just keep pushing a little bit harder. You just take the next step. Maybe read another book. Maybe do another set, run another mile, whatever you need to do. Push yourself 1% better every day. And it's okay if you go backwards. Today's like a 4 steps backwards for me, and it's okay. I will catch the fuck back up by tomorrow. Don't you worry. I hope you guys crush your fucking day. I don't know about the 4 p.m. I don't know if these computers are done yet. Ben may do the show from home. He may do it from here. I don't know if it's 100% quite yet. I got to go figure it out. But that's it. That's all I got. I don't know if I'm going to do 4 p.m. I want to. I really want to. But I got a lot of shit to do. And it's driving me crazy, as you guys know. But I'll be back tomorrow 100%. That's it. That's all we got, right?
Yeah, good luck, bro.
I love you guys. See you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Ciao for now. I don't even know how to end the show anymore, actually.